I want to give you a little background, since this is the first episode, of what this podcast is going to be all about. Travel, technology, and transformation. These are the three themes that I'm going to be tackling. Travel, obvious, because I love to travel. And I think you probably are interested in travel. Technology, I'm a geek. We're going to be talking about how technology and travel merge and talk to each other, and how do they actually, for example, new GPS. Anything that has to do with technology, I like to cover, especially if it's travel related. Number 3, transformation. My first TEDx talk was about how travel transforms you. When you are stuck in a rut, travel is the best way to kind of get yourself out of that rut. So why should you subscribe to this podcast? I meet so many interesting people while I travel. A lot of times I think to myself, man, I wish somebody had been recording this conversation I had with this awesome guy I met in Zimbabwe, and I didn't capture that. And nobody else is going to know about this conversation. Well, this is the way to take some of the most interesting characters I meet during my travels. I've been to about 120 countries. Also, as far as the length of the podcast, you should expect things to be anywhere between 3 minutes and 3 hours. Really, I have no idea how long it's going to take. Most podcasts, it depends on what you guys say. The other thing is that about 80% of the podcast will probably be interviews, people I'm going to be interviewing. 20% will be just me, solo episodes, sharing you some of my thoughts, ideas, tips. And then why should you download the episode? Well, it really is important to download episodes, not just to subscribe to the episodes. Downloading is what a lot of people, how they measure a podcast success. And why should you care about helping make this success? Well, when a podcast gets a lot of downloads, then it attracts better guests. So if I call Bill Gates and say, hey, Bill, would you like to join my podcast? He's going to say, how many subscribers do you have? How many downloads do you have? Well, I get about 10 downloads a month. You'll be like, okay, I think I have better forums where I can express myself. But if you get 1 million downloads per month, hey, now you're talking. And all of a sudden your guest selection kind of improves. The other thing is that your advertising dollars go up, and that makes me happy because then I don't have to have as many ads. I'd rather not have 5 minutes of ads. They're annoying. I'd rather have short, maybe 15 seconds, boom, and it pays my bills. I'm happy. So that's another good reason to help spread the word and download it. Go to patreon.com/ftapon. My last name is Tapon, F as in Francis. That's a good way to help out the podcast. You don't have to contribute much. If anybody doesn't know about Patreon, it's simple. It's basically like a Kickstarter campaign that happens every month. So you can give $1 a month, and that helps produce this show. The last thing I want to leave you with is a teaser of some of the upcoming guests that will be on the show. Gary Art from Everything Everywhere, Chris Christensen from The Amateur Traveler, Rolf Potts, the guy who wrote Vagabonding, Amtrak representative, Joe McConaughey, the guy who set the fastest unsupported record on the Appalachian Trail, and he also went Pacific Crest Trail, an amazing hiker. Jeff Worley, who wrote a book about Libya, the Sheraton Hotel, High-End Journeys, Winding Tree, which is a very cool blockchain travel technology company. I have them on as well. Random Tanzanians, random Africans, Egyptians, Tunisians, just to get the word on the street of how it's like to live in these countries, Cameroonians. Broad spectrum of guests. And I think that will make it interesting for you. So stay tuned, subscribe, spread the word. Thank you very much. This is Francis Tapon, encouraging you to wander and learn.